Good morning to all of you.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Very good morning. All of you, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Is my voice clear and reaching to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. We'll start this meeting. We'll start this lecture within few minutes. Let's wait for a while so that all of the students could join to this meeting. Okay. Almost 34 participants have joined. Let's wait for a few seconds. Almost 40 students have joined. Okay. Okay. So shall we start with lecture? सुरू करायचं का
Yes,
आता?
sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Almost 43 students have joined. So we'll start the lecture. Okay. Let me share the screen. Please tell me if the screen is visible or not. Is it visible?
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
So once again, good morning and welcome all of you to the Sweris College of Engineering, Pandharpur. Okay. So first of all, I will introduce myself. First of all, I will introduce myself. My name is Prasad Babar. I'm from Pandharpur. Okay, and I'm dealing with the subject communication skills to you people. Okay, so I'm going to teach you communication skills. The subject is easy and not the difficult one. Okay, communication skills means whatever the skills that we require for the communication purpose. Okay, so the subject that I'm dealing with you people, the name of the subject is the communication skills. And my name is Prasad Babar. I'm from Pandharpur. I have completed my bachelor's in English from Solapur University with first class, and I did my post graduation from Pune University with first class. The hobbies that I have is watching movies, reading books. Okay, so these are my hobbies. Okay, talking about the subject that I am dealing with is communication skills. Okay, so you require the skills regarding the communication in English. Okay, for the industrial purpose or for your job purpose. So that's why this subject has introduced in our syllabus from the university. Okay. So from today itself, we are going to deal with this subject, communication skills, the skills that are required for the communication purpose or for getting job. Okay, so these are the skills. So moving towards the subject, before that, let me speak about the introduction of this subject, and let us first of all make it clear that why English is important. Okay, why English is important language for us. Okay, so what's the importance of English that we are going to uh, uh, discuss first, and after that we will discuss about the subject and its syllabus. Okay, okay, so let's start with the chapter, that is what's the importance of English. Okay, some of the people are still joining, so that's why I have to admit them. Okay, so let's join them. We will start with our discussion. Okay, so first of all, what is the language that we are going to discuss first? Okay, what is the language? So language, with the help of which we communicate with other. Okay, that language, either it may be in the form of signs, gestures or postures, we need the language for the communication purpose. Okay, so first of all we are going to discuss about what's the importance of English language in our daily life. And first of all, before discussing that, let's talk about what is the language. Okay, so first of all, language is our primary source of communication. Okay, language is our primary source of communication. It's the method through which we share our ideas and thoughts with others. So it is the language which we use for the communication purpose. Okay, it's the method through which we share our ideas and thoughts with other persons. Okay, so for communication purpose, language is necessary and it is the primary source. Primary means what? It is very basic source that we need for the communication purpose. Without language, can we communicate with other person? Is it possible for us?
No, sir.
No. And that's why language is required, and it is the very basic and primary source of communication. It's the method, means it's the way through which we share our ideas and thoughts. Generally, what would happen? whatever thoughts and ideas that we have in our mind, in our brain, that we discuss with another person, or our parents, or our surrounding, okay, the people that are surrounding to us, our friend circle, okay, we generally share our ideas or thoughts with those people, okay. Some of the people even say that language is what separates us from animals and makes us human. So as we know that uh, human are only having the ability to form or to use the language, okay. Can anybody has seen that animals are talking to each other with the help of language? Has anybody has seen? No, we cannot, what we can say, uh, animals don't have that ability to speak, okay. Animals don't have that ability to speak or get communication with another animal, or with a person, or with uh, any other species. Only human have that ability to create language, to form language, okay. We have different languages, we have different set of alphabets and voices, but animals only have their voices or utterances, okay. They can only make voice, or they can only make the utterances. If talking about the dog, he only barks, okay. He cannot talk, okay. He don't have that ability to form or create language like we people. Talking about cows, okay, or other animals, other wild animals like lions, tigers, okay, they can communicate with their species animals with the help of different voices or different utterances. But have they used any type of language? Has anybody seen that the animals are using language?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No.
No, sir.
Yes. So animals don't have that ability. They don't have that much developed brain. Only human are the creatures of the world that have the ability, and that only can use the language, that only can form the language. So some of the people rightly says that the language is what separates us from animals. Animals don't have the ability to use the language. They can use utterances, they can use voices, but the human are only the creatures or only the species that can form different languages, different utterances, different voices. They can form the language, they can write the language, okay. So that's the difference between we people and animal. There are thousands of languages in the world. Countries have their own national languages in addition to a variety of local languages spoken and understood by their people in different regions. So this is the very important point. There are thousands of languages in the world. So in India itself, we have hundreds of languages, okay, hundreds of different languages, hundreds of different intonations, okay. So speaking about the world, there are more than 190 countries in the world, okay, and that 190 countries are also having their own language, own set of language, their own mother tongue, or their own official language they are having, okay. So we can say that there are thousands of languages in the world. more than 190 or 200 countries, and also there are different regions, different union territories in the world, and that's why we can say that thousands of languages can be found in the whole world. Okay, so in talking about India itself, we are having more than 29 states. There are more than 20, I think there are 29 states in our India. Okay, and 3 to 4 union territories are also there in India. So these 29 states are also having their 29 different languages, 29 different mother tongue, or 29 different regional languages. Okay, so when 29 states and there are 29 different languages, and they are also having their local tones or local languages. So if we are going to deal with the northern states like UP, Uttar Pradesh, like MP, Madhya Pradesh, Bihar, Rajasthan, or Jharkhand, Uttarakhand, these are the states where you can find that the languages dominant are only Hindi language. Okay, so in the northern states, the people from northern states are very much used to this Hindi language. They are using Hindi language. But when we move towards the northeastern part of India, you will see that there are 7 different states in northern India, like Arunachal Pradesh, Tripura, Manipur, Mizoram, okay, Assam. These are the 7 sisters. Also, we call it as the 7 sisters. So these are the 7 states which are having their own different languages. Means if we if we are talking about the Assam, it has Assami language. Arunachal Pradesh also is having its own different language. So northeastern states are also having their own regional language. Okay, or we can say that it is the mother tongue. In India itself, you will find the northern part of India is using Hindi language, or the Hindi language is called as the prominent language there in the northern India. Talking about the northeastern India, they are also having their own different languages, 7 states. When we come towards the West Bengal, their language is also different, that is Bengali language. So Bengali is also the prominent language in the West Bengal and also the Bangladesh. Okay, so Bangladesh is not the part of India, but Bengali is mostly spoken language in the Bengal region, that is East Bangladesh and our West Bangladesh. Okay, West Bangladesh, no, West Bengal. Okay, Bangladesh and West Bengal. So when we come towards the southern region of India, you will feel that there are different states like Maharashtra. Maharashtra is having its own language, that is Marathi. But coming towards the southern region of India, there are states like Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, then Andhra, Telangana. These are the states which are having their own language. Okay, so Kannada, Tamil, Malayalam, or Telugu. These are the different languages these states are having for their communication purpose. So these are very proud states, and these states are using either their own language or either English. If you go towards these states, if you are traveling through these states, then you will find that they are very proud of their language, own language, that is mother tongue or regional language. And if you want to communicate them with the help of Hindi language, they will not entertain you anymore. Why it is so? Because they only use their own mother tongue or either English language. And that's why our mother tongue is important, and English has also given the importance equal to our mother tongue. Okay, so these are very proud states, and they are very proud of their own language. They are also making their own movies. So southern states like Andhra or Telugu language is called as the dominant language. Tamil language is also dominant language, and most of the movies you will find that they are dubbed in their own regional language or mother tongue. Okay, so that's why they make use of their own language. And if you're talking with them, you want to communicate with them, you will have to use their own language, either their own language, or you will have to use English language. Okay, that's why we should have the knowledge of this language, English language. So this is the fact about the southern states. Coming towards Maharashtra, so Maharashtra is having its own regional language, and we our mother tongue or our regional language is Marathi. Okay, so Marathi is the most dominant language in Maharashtra, though we are using Hindi language for communication purpose, but the dominant language and its regional language of Maharashtra is the Marathi. And Marathi, this language is also having different intonations. This language is also having different variants. Means if we go to the Pune region, you will find that Puneri Marathi is different from that of Solapuri Marathi. So Solapuri Marathi, coming towards Solapur, when we go to Solapur and when we interact with the people from the Solapur, you will find that Solapuri tone is somewhat different than the other Marathi tones. Puneri tone is different from the Solapuri tone. Okay, so this is the variation in Marathi language also. When we move towards the Amravati region or Vidarbha region, their tone is also different from that of our Marathi. There is Nagpuri tone or Amravati tone they are using. When we move towards the Konkan region of our Maharashtra, or you will feel that their tone, Malwani tone, is different from that of Puneri tone or Solapuri tone or Vidarbha tone. So this is the variations and different tones that the people from that region are using for the communication purpose. So Marathi is also having the different tones and different local scripts, or we can say that these are the different local intonations. Okay, so in Marathi there is a proverb like भाषा काय असते तर महिला मैलाला काय होते तर बदलते. ओके, एका मैलावर भाषा काय होते तर चेंज होते, त्यात बदल होतो. इथली लँग्वेज, the language from this Pandharpur region is somewhat different from that of the Solapur region. The language from Solapur Marathi, Solapuri Marathi is different or having different tone than that of the Puneri tone. So these are the variations the languages made in the region. Okay, so different regions have their own different tones. So that's why we can say that there are thousands of languages in the world and thousands of tones of using languages. And also the countries have their own national language. So our national language or the official language is considered as the Hindi language, but that is somewhat what we can say doubtful decision. Okay, so because we have India is having more than 29 states, and each language has equal importance in our constitution. Okay, and southern states are somewhat against of the Hindi language as the national language. So that's why we can say that only Hindi is our national language. There are many languages also there. In addition to a variety of local languages spoken and understood by their people in different regions. So different regions are speaking different languages or different tones they are using. Some languages are spoken by millions of people, others by only a few thousand. So there are the languages like English language. This language is spoken by millions of people. Means when we come to any corner of the world, we can find or we can know that there are the people who are using the English for the communication purpose. So it is widely spread language. Okay, so talking about English, it is the widely spread language. Millions of the people from all over the world are using this language for the communication purpose. Okay, and others by only a few thousand. So English is the language which is spoken by millions of people. Also, another languages like Chinese. Chinese is also the language which are having millions of speakers. This Chinese language is also used by millions of people, because in China, when you go to that country, you will see that they the people from China are using only Chinese language and not English or any other language. They don't understand English language, okay, or they won't use this language for communication purpose. Why? Because they are very proud of their own language, that is Chinese language. And that's why the Chinese language is also spoken by millions of people. In India also, Hindi language is spoken by millions of people. Bengali is also spoken by millions of people. Marathi is also the language which is spoken by millions of people. So these are the languages which are spoken by millions of people. Others by only a few thousand. Means also there are other languages like tribal languages. Okay, the tribal languages are only spoken by few thousand or few hundreds of people. Why? Because their population is not that much as compared to other people's population. Tribes are living in an isolation, and they are having their own culture, they are having their own rituals, or they are having their own tradition they are using. They will not follow your tradition, or they won't accept your tradition. They are having their own tradition, or they are having their own language. So the languages which are spoken by these tribal people are having very less speakers. Only the tribal people can understand and can speak their own language, and others from the world can only know that language, but they can't speak, or that is not that much understood by the people from other countries. Okay, so these are the some of the languages which are spoken by millions of people, and some of the languages are there which are spoken by only a few hundreds or only a few thousands. So this is the difference between these two. Talking about the next point, and the next point is that why do we learn English? What's the importance of English, and why do we learn that language? So let's discuss about it. Why do we learn English? So first is what English was originally the language of England, but through the historical efforts of the British Empire, it has become the primary or secondary language of many former British colonies, such as United States, Canada, Australia, and India. So this is what happens. Okay, so English is the language. This was the language. Okay, this was the language which was originally from the England. Okay, so British people, when they were ruling us, they were here in India. When they were rulers, they brought this language with them, and they cannot get this language back to their country. But why? Because Indian people accepted this language, they learned this language, and they tried to communicate with others with this language. Okay, they use this language for their learning purpose, for their study purpose, and that's why we got developed in the area of technology, in the area of science, in the area of arts. Okay, so that is why we got connected with the other people. So Britishers, okay, Britishers were the rulers of all over the world before, I think, hundreds of years. Okay, so after that, America became dominant in the field of economy or in the field of wealth. But before that, before the Second World War, England, before the First World War, England was the very dominant country, or the ruling country, which is all over the world. And many of the other countries were the colonies of this British Empire. So which were the colonies? Our India country, our country India was also the colony of the Britishers. US, United States of America, that is America, we call it as America, was also the colony of the British Empire. Canada, then Australia was also the colony of the Britishers. India and the south eastern countries like Bangladesh, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Myanmar, these were also the colonies of the Britishers. So before, I think, before 300 years, England before the 200 or 300s, Britishers came here in India, and they they were here, they came here for the trading purpose. Okay, they were the traders before 200 or 300. Let's just 1 minute. Okay. So Britishers were the coloniers before 200 to 300. They came here for the trade purpose, but they found that Indian people can be taught this language, and it will be easy for the for us. It will be easy for the Britishers to rule this country. Why? Because Indians are having lack of knowledge, or they are having the lack of technology. They are not that much progressive in science field or industry field. Okay, that's why they came here as the traders, but they becomes the rulers on this country, and they brought this language. They taught this language. They make this language in our syllabus. They include this language in the syllabus of the Indian universities. So first, in the Kolkata University, this English language was introduced in Kolkata, and also in the University of Mumbai. This English language was introduced as the subject, and I think Macaulay was the first who brought this language, and who know that importance, who knew that importance to teach this language to we people. And that's why English was originally the language from England, but through the historical efforts, means they took the different types of efforts. They took the historical efforts, means to establish this language in Indian universities for the purpose of ease in trade. Okay, so they want money. Okay, but they want to teach this language to we people for making their efforts easy, because if they wish to bring their own servants from their country, it will be costly for those people, because the British officers were taking too much salaries, too much money to come to India and live here, to rule here. Okay, and Indians are not having that much sense of the money, and that's why they were easily can be easily motivated towards the government services like IAS or other. And that's why they introduced their own language in our syllabus before 1800, I think 1800, yes, 18 before 1850, the war of the 1850 1857 बंड असं आपण त्याला म्हणतो. त्याच्या आधीच त्यांनी काय केलं होतं, तर ही जी लँग्वेज आहे ती आपल्या युनिव्हर्सिटीजना वगैरे शिकवायला चालू केली होती. So they took the historical efforts to bring this language to India, and currently English is the primary language of not only countries actively touched by British impression, but also many business and cultural spheres dominated by those countries. So at this instant, at this moment, English is the most dominant language. English is the most widely spread language, and it is also called as the primary language of not only the countries actively touched by British impression. Means this is not only the language, primary language or first language which is used in the countries which were ruled by the British impression or Britishers, but also the many countries in which Britishers were not there. Means that's why this language has its own importance, but also many business and cultural spheres. So there are many businesses, or for the trading purpose, business purpose also, this language becomes the important language. Okay, so talking about the cultural spheres means each and every country has its own culture, its own cultural sphere. So if we are talking about the Indian culture, so we are having the different culture than the culture of Western countries. Okay, so Western countries are having different culture, and our Indian continent, India is also having its own culture. We are having the different culture. So there is difference between our culture. Western culture is the modern culture, we can say that. But our Indian culture is somewhat traditional. We follow the different traditions, different regulations, okay, different rules in our Indian tradition. So that makes the difference between we people and the Western people. Though they are progressive, they are modern people, but that is also not that much useful for those people, because our tradition is vast and very rich tradition we are having from last thousands of years. Okay, so we were the developed people during the Harappa or Mohenjo-daro. These were the ancient traditions we are having. Okay, we were having these own ancient traditions like Mohenjo-daro, Harappa. Okay, so these were the cultures that we were having, we were enriched with. But the Britishers have developed from last only 300 to 400 years. Before that, they were not that much developed as compared to today's situation. Only difference that makes and that advances them was they changed their tradition with the age. Okay, they make difference and they make advances there in their own tradition with the time, and we haven't learned this lesson that much. So that's why we are having some of the shortcomings. So this is about the current situation. It is the language of Hollywood and the language of international banking and business. Okay, so it is also the language of Hollywood. Means many of the Hollywood movies are dubbed with this language. Okay, so we know that Hollywood movies are very impressive. We are very fond of those movies which are made by Hollywood. Okay, like you can say that movies like Avenger series or other series, okay, or Harry Potter. These are the movies which impressed us a lot, and these are the movies which are having their language English. Okay, so that's why English is the it becomes the very important language for the communication purpose. Also, the English is the language of international banking and business. So this is the language which is used for international banking and business. Means all of the international banking and business, that is trade, happens with this language. we make trade with Western countries or countries all over the world, American countries, the African countries. These are also the countries with the help of English language. We trade with them, we make use of the English language for the trade purpose with these countries. And that's why this is the most important language for international banking and international business. So internationally business or trade happens with this language. We import some goods, also we export some goods or vegetables or agriculture products, agriculture yes, agriculture products like fruits, vegetables that we export to them, and we import the modern instruments or the gadgets from those countries, or technology, different technologies we import. And for this technical uses or technological gadgets, we generally use this language for import export purpose. That's why this is the important language for trade purpose, for business purpose, for understanding the movies, Hollywood movies, for understanding the economy, or for understanding the banking system, business. This makes easy with this English language. Okay, so that's why this language is the important language for we people. So that's why we learn this language. Some of the other reasons are also there. Just a minute. Some of the other reasons are also there, but reasons, yes. So globalization, another reason to learn this language is the globalization. So globalization means what? World come close to each other. Okay, we came close to each other with the help of different technologies, and that's why globalization becomes the most important word in this situation. So it has covered all aspects, means globalization. We are taking the benefits of globalization as I'm teaching from here in the classroom, and you are listening to me from your homes, okay, from your rooms itself. You are using with the technologies like Zoom app, like computers, and like gadgets like mobiles, Apple, iPhone. These are the products or fruits of globalization. We are benefited with these products. So deep understanding of this language is very important in our field. Okay, so we'll discuss the other part of this lecture in the next lecture, but before that let me first take your attendance. So I'm going to make the roll call, and you will have to say yes. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Roll number 1. Roll number 1. 1 is there. Anu से संजीवनी कौन है? Yes. Roll number 1. Roll number 2.
Present, sir.
3.
Present, sir.
4.
Present, sir.
5.
Present, sir.
6.
Present, sir.
7.
Yes.
8.
Present, sir.
9. Roll number 9. Karande Nikita. Yes, yes, yes. Roll number 10,
Present, sir.
roll number 11,
Yes, sir.
12,
Yes, sir.
13,
Yes, sir.
14, roll number 14, 15,
Present, sir.
16, roll number 16, roll number 16, say yes. Okay, roll number 17, 17, Naneshwari Rikar, roll number 18,
Present, sir.
19,
Yes, sir.
20,
Yes, sir.
21,
Present, sir.
22,
Yes, sir.
23,
Present.
24,
Present.
25,
Present.
26,
Present, sir.
27,
Present, sir.
28,
Present, sir.
29, roll number 29, 30,
Present, sir.
31,
Present, sir.
32,
Present, sir.
33,
Present, sir.
34,
Present, sir.
35,
Present, sir.
36,
Present, sir.
37,
Present, sir.
38, 38, 39,
Present, sir.
40,
Present, sir.
41,
Present, sir.
42,
Present, sir.
43,
Present, sir.
44,
Yes, sir.
45,
Present, sir.
46,
Present, sir.
47,
Present, sir.
48,
Present, sir.
49,
Present, sir.
50,
Present, sir.
51,
Present, sir.
52, 52, 53, 54,
Present, sir.
55,
Present, sir.
56,
Present, sir.
57,
Present, sir.
58, 58, 59,
Present, sir.
60,
Present, sir.
61,
Present, sir.
62,
Present, sir.
58.
yes, 58. Okay, 62,
Present, sir.
63,
Present, sir.
64,
Yes, sir.
65. Roll number 65. Okay, 65 absent. 65 आहेत ना आपल्या वर्गात? How many students are there in our class?
65.
Okay, so I am calling the absent roll numbers. Roll number 14, roll number 29, 38, 52, and 65. These are the absent roll numbers for this lecture. Has anybody present from these roll numbers? If he is present, then he can tell me now. Okay, okay then 60 are present. So whatever I'm teaching, is it understood by you people? समझते का?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we will discuss the latter next part of this topic in the upcoming next lecture. Okay, so thank you for joining this lecture. Shall we stop here itself?
Sir,
Yes, sir.
Yes.
teacher, sir.
Huh?
Proctor teacher.
Huh?
तुम्ही आमचे प्रॉक्टर टीचर आहात.
Yes, sir. Yes. Yes, ma'am. I'm the proctor teacher of you. I think third batch, D3 batch. Okay. from 44 to 66, I think 65. So is there any problem regarding your classes or any other you are having?
No, sir.
No? Okay. So if you are having any problem, so you can contact me on my number also. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So shall we end this lecture here itself?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Shall we stop? Okay. So we'll stop here. We will take the next part in the next lecture. Thank you for joining this meeting. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.